to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So I'm starting here in Design Space because I just needed to do a project. I didn't really have anything in mind, but I wanted to do a gift card holder, and I wanted this gift card holder to be in a shaped like a purse. So I had my Cricut, and then I know I have Cricut Access, so I have some options in Design Space. So let me just show you what I did. So it started with this basic shape of this purse here, and I found that in images, and I just searched by purse, P-U-R-S-E, if I could spell that right. And then I was really looking for a traditional shape purse. Any purse will do, or a handbag. I mean, this could have worked, any of these shapes. It just depends on what of the shape that you wanted for your card. I also kind of like that one if I was going to do like a briefcase style. Um, even that would work. But you just pick your images in Design Space to what you had in mind, and then you can determine what you want to do next. So these are making a 3D project because it's going to be a gift card holder. So I knew I had to turn this shape into at least a two-dimensional aspect. So let me move these out the way because we'll talk about those later. So when I brought this into my canvas, I didn't want that V. So if there's something you want to contour out, you would select your image and you would select contour, and then you would deselect what you don't want to be showing, and I didn't want that V to show. And in this case, I wanted to separate the purse shape from the handle. So I duplicated it first, and then I'm going to contour out that handle because you have other options you could do this with. So that left me with the base of my card, and then I'm going to contour again, and I'm just going to hide that shape. And now I have two separate images that I can work with. And this is kind of what I was going for. So when you're left with, of course, I'm going to turn this into a gift card holder. So I need this to be one shape. So let me show you, and I've already done that here. So you can kind of see how I did that. So let me run you through my thought process. Okay, the first thing I did, so before I start making all these moves, and making all these changes, you need to, and whoops, I need to put these back together because I forgot. You want to keep these together, so let me group them back together so that if you're going to change your sizing, then you want everything to be together when I start making this bigger. So if you were doing a gift card, then you want to make sure that you measure your gift card and make sure what you're making is going to be bigger than your gift card. I'm sorry, I had to grab a gift card. So the gift card is like 3.5. I'm sorry, 3.5 by 2 and I don't know, 2.25. I'm not sure. So I want to make sure that I have enough room when I make a pocket to be able to tuck my gift card in and have enough room so it won't show. So if you keep your proportion lock on, which is this guy, the lock here, and then you would just increase it, till whatever your desired size. So that looks about right. You can make it as big or as small as you like. So this is going to be slightly bigger than what I created. Okay. And the reason you want to keep your handle together, so your handle in your bag will be proportional. Okay. So now that I have that done, I'm going to ungroup this because it is at my desired. You know what? Let me just go a little bit. Let me do one more. Okay, there we go. So it's ultimately going to be like a 5 by 6. So let me ungroup this. Whoop. And now this is by itself again. I'm going to change this color to white. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to click the duplicate button, or you could use your keyboard. And then I'm going to flip it. Okay, so now this will be, ideally this will be the front and this will be the back. And then I need to join these two together to make one solid piece. So that's what this, whoops, I got all this stuff. That's what this piece is going to be. So to get this shape, I don't need it, I'm going to delete it. To get this shape, I'm going to delete that one because I don't need that. Keep my thing. I just went to shapes on your side panel. And since these are kind of rounded, I just made sure I picked the rounded one. And I have my proportion lock on. So I'm going to make this bigger, a little, elongate this a little. But I don't want it that big because I want it to be in here like so. Like I just want it to be slightly smaller because basically I'm creating a hinge. And I don't need it to be that thick or that height. So I'm just going to undo the proportion lock. And then I'm going to just make it a little bit more narrow. I'm going to put that back on. Keep it proportional, although it's going to be hidden. And I think I got it. So I'm going to grab these two. And then I'm just going to arrange that in the center. Whoops. Sorry, I picked the wrong thing. Looks it's kind of centered already. So let's try it again. I always forget which one. There we go. Okay, now it's centered vertically. And while I've got that, I'm going to send this to the back. So I just used my mouse and right clicked on that. And I'm going to send that to the back. So now basically I've created a hinge. And then what I want to do is I want to weld this together. And then I'm going to weld it. Now it turned everything the same color as the piece, the little hinge piece. So I'm just going to turn that back white. And so now I have a fold. And so that's what that looks like. So now I've got one piece. And now I need to add a score line. So I'm going to go back to shapes and click on the line. And then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. So I'm going to go up to rotate it. I'm just going to type in 90. And I know that this should be well, we'll bring it here. I think it's going to end up being 5. So I'm going to add that there. It is a cut line. Nope, this is a score line, so good deal. Just making sure. And then you're just going to roll that out to there, maybe a little bit longer. So that way I have a score line in here. And I am going to click on the score line on my layers panel and select that. And I want to make sure, get that in the center. So I'm going to center it vertically and then I'm going to attach. So now basically I have my base. I probably should have, before I did the, before I did that together, I needed to do some panels. So you can, so if you, here's what happens if you didn't do your panels. So let's just say I forgot and I didn't do my panels. So this is what I would do. I would go back to images. If I didn't already bookmark it, I think I bookmarked it, but I'm not sure. Purse. And then I'll find my image. It's going to take a minute. I can't remember if I bookmarked it or not. It's a good idea to bookmark things as you find them. space. Okay, I did bookmark it. Okay, so the reason I should have duplicated that before I welded it together. I got a little too quick, but that's okay. So what I need to do, because I'm going to have a panel for the front and a panel for the back. Since I could technically resize this one, you know, but I'm going to delete that because I'm actually starting over. I don't need that. I'll hang on to this because I made it slightly bigger. Okay, so we're going to do the same action again. So just in case, we're going to contour out everything I don't want. I don't want the handle and I don't want the V. So I'm left with this. I'm going to leave it black for now. But, and then what I'm going to do is bring this here, and I want like a little border. So I'm going to bring this out just to like get it to the right size. So you decide how thick or how thin you want your border. So ideally I want a little bit of white showing, and it just depends on how much white you want showing is how big you make this. Okay, that looks fine to my eye. So I'm going to leave that like it is. So now that I have it the size I want, I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to flip this. Just got to remember which way to flip it. I always forget. There we go. So now I have two of these for the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to keep it black just for ease of sake. So then I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to change this a different color. So far so good. Let me go back. I'm going to use my layers panel for that. Hope I can find it on my layers panel. So I want to change it to white, but I gotta find it on the Brenda. There it is. Okay. I want to change that from white to just another color. Okay. I'm going to change these to another color because I'm going to do yellow for these. All right. So I don't know. I had some yellow paper I was looking at, so I'm thinking lemons. Don't ask me why. So I found an image for lemons. See, I already did it. And this is the image that I used. I actually did two of these. I did a draw because I wanted to use my Cricut pens, right? So I had this as part of my images. So I clicked on images, and then I typed in lemon. And then I wanted to draw because I don't use my Cricut pens a lot. So I just wanted to find, oops, so I gotta go ahead and do that one because I didn't bookmark that one. Just wanted to find some lemons that I wanted to draw. So I added that to my canvas and brought that in, right? Click on Add in View. Okay. And then I decided I can delete this. Then I decided for my panels, I have the deboss item, the debossing tool. Let's see, go back. Here we go. I have the deboss tool. So I figured I'd draw using my Cricut pen, and then I would deboss this image using my Cricut pen. That's what I decided to do because, hey, why not? Let me make this a little bigger because I want to resize this picture, although I think it's pretty nice as is. I want to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to duplicate, so I'm going to click on the duplicate button. And then I'm going to flip this the other way. Yep. And then I'll have one at the top like so. So they're going in different directions on my panel. And you can resize this if you want. Just not filling it out. That looks pretty good. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. They don't have to be identical in size. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to use my Cricut pen to draw. But I also need to do a set for the outside and a set for the inside. So now that I have everything like I want it, I'm going to attach. Whoops, let me detach. Let me see if I can get it centered. Sorry about that. You want to make sure you kind of get it centered. So I'm going to do there, and then I'm going to center it because I'm going to duplicate this again. So I'm clicking on a line and center. Then I'm going to attach it because you want this to use your Cricut pen to write this. Just going to draw this, and you want it to draw it where you put it. So now I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to duplicate this again. Whoop, wrong one. I'm going to duplicate the bottom one. Duplicate. I'll zoom back out so you can see. So now I have one for the top, and then ideally I'll have one for the bottom. And the thought process was to do the outside of the card holder using the pen, and then use the deboss feature to deboss this for the inside. So if this is going to be my inside and I have it on draw, I'm going to go up to operations and just change that to deboss. Hopefully it changed the right one. Oh, it still says draw. Okay, now it says deboss. And then, so it'll just be a subtle line in the inside of the card. And so I'm just bringing in the outside to the inside. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Okay. Then I decided, maybe for the top, so when you fold the purse, because this is the top, why don't I duplicate the image again right on top of each other? So I'm going to duplicate it. Let me see if I can get it lined up. And I'll zoom it in. Whoops, went the wrong way. So I want to make it a little bit bigger so I can make sure that this is on top of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deboss. Let me make sure I got the right one. Okay, just did something weird. There we go. Just need to make sure that one and that one. That's not the. Keep getting the wrong one. Okay, let's see. Slow it out over here. Okay, so it has to be this one, and it has to be this one, and then I'm going to center them together. Okay, and then one of these is going to get the deboss. So not only will I have the pen and the pen and the, whoops, let me detach it because detach so I can separate this. Okay, there we go. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see it. Sorry. All right, let's do this like that. Okay, so I've got my pen image and my deboss image together. I want to center them. And then I want to make sure that they're attached together. And then now I want to make sure they're both centered on this guy. Come ahead and align and center, and then attach again. So not only will one of these panels deboss, it will draw and deboss. And then the only thing left to do is to make for the front. And I just need to make sure I did it on the right one. Yeah, that's the bottom. That's the top. Because I want the pen mark, the ink, to be in the groove of the image. And then this is going to go on the inside, like so. So the only thing left to do is to make like the little closure for the top of the purse. And I did that in gold. So I went back to images. So I'll show you what I did. I'm sorry, I went back to shapes. And I've selected this shape. And it's a little too big for what I want. I wanted it a little skinnier and narrow. Sorry, I keep going the wrong way. But I wanted it to be a little narrower than what it is currently. Right, so that looks, so you can decide how thick or how narrow you want it. I didn't want it to look too fat. And I'll lock that back up. And then I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit tall. And then I needed to just figure out where I wanted to put my score line. And I'll turn that into gold, this color here. And then I just did a line again. So I went to shapes, grab me a line, and then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then I am going to stick it just about where I want to have a fold, just so it'll have a closure. And just depends on where you want that line. And then I'll attach it. Because attach will tell the Cricut where to score it. And then that's how I made the closure. And then I really didn't need to do too much with the, I can find it, the handle for the purse. The only thing that I want to do, so I'll bring that back up, is I'm just going to duplicate it. So the handle will have 2 layers. And then that's going to be blue. So I'm going to go to my color sync and I'm going to run the handles the same color as my base. And then I'm just going to cut out everything. So that's how I did my card holder. So I'm going to take you over to my other side of my craft room. Oh, let me so you guys can see it. Let me click on make it first, or make. It used to be called make it. So if this happens, so let's say I have some straight items on my board, on my mat, and I don't want to cut this out, I'm just going to hide that object so it won't cut out. I don't need 2 of them, but I'll just hang on to it, and I'm going to change my mat size to be 8.5 by 11. And then I have some 12 by 12 paper, so remember, I'm going to have 4. I don't know why it's, yep, that looks right. I'm going to have 4 panels, 2 in the front, 2 in the front and 2 in the inside, and then this is my base. So that's how that's going to go. And then I'll take you over to the other side of my, let's see. If you're going to start with this one, let me just show you. If you click continue, if you don't have the deboss little widget thingy bob, oh my goodness, it's off. Let me turn it back on. If you don't have the widget to do the debossing tool, I've only used, this is like the 2nd time. I got it when I got my Cricut, I got I drank the Kool-Aid and got all of the little accessories. But I've only used it twice. This would be my 2nd time using the little deboss little thingy bobby. And it'll tell you what tool you need to use. Okay, yeah. That's just me. Yes, I want to cancel. Let's see if we can try this again. I keep forgetting. I always cut it off, and I don't know why I have it cut off. Okay, so now it's connecting to my maker. I had a fun time designing this. So I'm going to click on medium cardstock. I'm going to put on more pressure because it's all of what I do. And so here's telling you in clamp A, you're going to use your pen. And I just have it on whatever pen. And then you're going to, and clamp B, you're going to load the deboss tool. So let me bring you down to my work surface. And then this is what it looks like. Oh, no, that's this. So that's like the little wheel that you have. And then it has a little quick release. And then this is the deboss, the 21. This is what that little nib looks like. So yeah, to deboss. So it's the inverse or the reverse of embossing. And then you just put it on your little quick swap housing and you're good to go. So I'm going to take you over there. That's what I've been doing, and you enjoy, and I'll bring you back over here for assembly because I can't wait to put this together. So I got a little ahead of myself and I realized that I did not share with you how to do a pocket. So I'm going to take one of these shapes and I'm going to duplicate it. I totally skipped my mind. Because, hey, how are you going to hold the... Nope, I don't want the pocket on this side. So I'm going to delete this one. I want one of these. So let me duplicate that again. The right side. No, nope, that's not it. Okay. I think it should be this one. Okay, duplicate. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to turn this into my pocket. So I want to make, I need this to be it should work. I think it should be big enough. 4x8. Yeah, that should be wide enough. So I don't need all of this up here. So I'm going to take a shape, move everything over here, and I'm going to grab this circle. And then I'm going to make my circle as big as I want. So you can make your pocket as deep as you like. Okay, I'm going to get it a little bit bigger for you guys. Now, if you wanted to, if I really wanted to square it off before I make my circle, let me do this because I don't like the way that's looking. I'm going to move you out the way. I am going to cut some of this off. So I'm going to do a slicing motion. It looks about where I want that pocket. Okay. So let's make sure this is a little bit bigger than my image. There we go. Then I'm going to slice this away. And bye-bye. I don't need all of that. Then I'm going to take my circle. I don't need to be that big anymore. And I'm going to bring that to the front. So I right clicked on my mouse and brought that to the front. And then I'm gonna actually cut like a little grab bar here. So I'm gonna delete that. I don't need that. I'm gonna grab those two and I'm going to align it and make sure this is in the center. And then while I have it together, I'm just gonna slice that. And then that should make the perfect pocket. And I'm going to discard all those pieces. So now for my gift card holder, I have the perfect pocket for my gift card. It'll slot right in there on the inside. Now you can do, you can take your, since you're writing anyway, with your Cricut pens, why not do something with your, let's see, recent, what I use. Okay, I use this one, this font, and then you can write something clever. The most cleverest thing I wrote on here was thank you, thanks. But you can do lemon, L-E-M-O-N. What? L-E-M-O-N. That looks really weird. Lemon easy. Anything crazy can go there. So you just have to figure out the size. So I'm going to go down on my font. If I didn't like the way that looks, I can make it one line. That'd probably be better. I still say that lemon looks weird. Shift L-E-M-O-N. Okay, that works. Maybe you could do something funny. I did thanks on mine. But you could do something like that. And then just, again, make sure it's centered. And then attach it. And then when you're, well, okay, just see what I did. I didn't know why that looks weird, y'all. Okay, look at that. I don't want that outline writing. So let's see if this is a writing font. So I'll just change it from regular to, there we go. And then I can make it a little bit bigger. It was on the style I just changed. So yeah, now it looks good. And then you attach it. Now when you go to make it, you got your little pocket. And then while it's debossing and using the pen, it'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's go on to assembly now. All right, so here's the panel that I did, and I used this paper pad that I got from Michael's that was on a fantastic deal. And that's what gave me the idea of using these coordinating tacks to make this purse. And I just used one of these papers to do this. So this is the one that's got the ink and the deboss. You could choose now, and I didn't think of it because I didn't bring out my my ink, my distressed ink. So I would actually, you could distress some of the edges, and I might bring that out. So this is the other one. This is my base. So the card, it's white on the inside, so this would be the top of the, so that's how it's going to go. And then this is the deboss. I'll bring it up a little and tilt it. So it's got a nice texture. I love the way that feels. And it's not so plain. And then this is the, it goes right there. It's going to go about right there. And I can tuck your gift card here. Let's see, this is my prototype. I was using ink on this and I got ink everywhere. I'm not happy. But this is the inside. So basically this is the basic design. This is actually the ink on this. And then that's the thing. So the idea is, that's why I did the panels, to kind of make it finished. So I wanted to cover the flap, the closure, the clasp, and then I wanted to do where you wouldn't see the handles. So that's pretty nice. Then I decided when I was in there, and you can choose, I went and found some lemon. Make sure I keep it the right way. So it's going to go on the front, kind of a theme, like on the front to decorate it, however I want it. Let's see. So here's my two handles. Here's my clasp. I actually pulled out some leaves that I had to play with in my stash. So I used my Cricut pen for this. So that was the Cricut pen that I used. It's just the black. You already saw the little tool. Then I grabbed my glue, because I will be using liquid glue. And then I have stuff in there. And then I have some fasteners that I'm going to be using. And you will need some scissors, so let me grab that now. Okay, so here's my scissors. So I got those. And then this was my little gift card that I was using as my template. Okay. Alright, so let's put this bad boy together. The first thing I'm going to do is just make sure I got some glue coming out. Let me grab a napkin. Okay, good. So the first thing I'm going to do is just glue my handles together. I don't want these to be so flimsy, because this cardstock is not like 110-pound weight cardstock. So I just wanted to make sure it had some stability. So we're just going to glue these together. Okay, and I'm going to try to get it before the glue dries. I don't know how the wool gathering here. It's almost dry. And I might stop and pause and grab some inks, because I think that's going to enhance it. I don't know. Okay, yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. So that's that. Let me pause and I'll be right back, and let me grab some yellow ink. Okay, I brought out my distressed inks, and so I'm going to put that aside till I'm ready for it. Put that aside because I think I want to break up some of that color and some of that white. So this is optional, by the way. That's a print then cut, but you've seen me do that before. So this one has the ink and the pen and the deboss surface. So I need to make sure that goes here. Let me see. So that's going to be the front. And then this would be the back of that. Yeah, that would be the back. Oh, wrong one. Okay, that would, well, this is the right one. Okay, that would be the back. So that's going to be that side. And then these, I don't need that. I'm going to use for the front, because that's just the debossed side. No. Yep, there we go. Okay. So I'm really trying to pay very close attention before I do anything about the orientation. So I'm going to leave that over here, but I am going to play. I've got some a sample cut out. I'm going to just need to see what yellow I want to use with this. So, well, you know what? It's squeezed lemon. So squeeze lemonade. So we'll try the squeeze lemonade. I'm just kind of wiping off some ink off my thing. This wasn't planned. So I'm just checking to see. And it might get lost in the sauce, but it might not. I'm not sure. And it's pulling up some red. Okay. Got some red in here. Must have mixed this up. Hopefully this is squeezed. Yeah, looks like it's lemonade. I'm not sure if I'm liking that. Can't tell if I like it or not. Mustard seed, maybe? I don't want it to be, I want it to have a tone-on-tone look, but I don't want it to be so where you couldn't even see it, you know? That's why I practice with this strip. Well, that's just more of the same. Nah, all right, I'm just going to go with it. But I think I'm just going to do, like, the out. Oh, I hate when I do that because I forget and I have ink on this, and then I just mess up everything. So let me be right back. I gotta grab a big. Okay, so I'm gonna do it on my glass mat. I know I messed up that one, messing around with the ink. Make sure I get everything put up correctly, because God Almighty, I don't want to have to recut anything again. Okay, let's try this one. And I'm just going to do a little bit on around the edges. So if I'm not really thinking about my ink. If I had given this a little bit of thought about what other color I could use outside of red, I'm sure I could use an orangey color too. And I might go back and grab an orangey color because I don't think that's giving me enough contrast on the sides. I have this color scheme Bible, which I find very helpful if I'm in the yellows. What other colors you could use. So I'll bring it up a little closer if you're in the yellow families. So I try to find inks that are, if I'm using distressed inks or oxides, what color would go with that. But I'm not, like I said, I want to do a tone on tone. So I know a warm orange color would work. But I'm just going to try that one too. So I'm doing it off on the side so I can clean up my glass mat. And I'm working on this one because I just don't want to mess up nothing. Let's put that top back on that. And then, I'm only going to do it on one. If I don't like the way it looks, it's all good. I just hit up one. Yeah, I'm not having any success with this. But it's all good. We'll just call it a day on that. I'm just going to leave it alone. Sometimes you have crafting fails, and I'm going to consider this a crafting fail because it was a last minute thought. So I'm going to leave it alone. Move on. Oh, if you have some alcohol markers, that might be a better way to go. Okay, be right back. There. I was like, well, the ink's not working. And I have some, let me recap my glue so it won't go dry on me. I have these Spectrum Law tricolored markers. So I have a green one, a light green blend, and then I have something that's called a citrus blend right here. So I'm going to use the dark. So, which I really love about these markers, I'm not the best of shaders in doing shading and ink blending, but it has your dark, your mid color, and your light. And for me, that's perfect because I'm such a beginner at that. So what you could possibly do to cover up some of the white and make that contrast with that white border. So I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm not going to try to do anything other than that. And that might be just enough to what I need to do with what I'm trying to do. And then I'm going to turn it on the back side. And then I'm just going to edge it up because if it slips, like if this slips, it'll be on the back side and that'll be covered. And then when I put it down, and maybe that's what I wanted to do all along, and my brain was like, oh, you can ink blend. Now, this would be a good time. This would be a perfect time if you were making this purse to go ahead, use your stamps, do some ink blending, do some creative backgrounds, because it's such a small project. And if you're like me, I hoard backgrounds or pattern paper, then this would be a perfect project to use up some of those backgrounds that you've created and you didn't know what to do with. Also a good idea that you could use it with scraps. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I cut out so many. So we'll just do and then for this one, I used my embossing folders. So if you had some embossing folders, I just was playing for that pillowy look, that cushion pillow look. And you can emboss and then ink blend and then emboss something. And the sky's the limit with this because it's such a simple project and it's such a simple way of using up some of those backgrounds. And depending on how big you make this, because this could be a little sentiment holder, note like I love you strips and stuff. I mean, it could be anything that you want it to be. Okay, so I'm done with the ink blending. So this is the front. So I just need to make sure. So what I'm going to do is this is the linchpin of it all. So I'm going to make sure I put that on right for the first time. And that's why I like to do my ink blending off on here because I keep forgetting and putting it on this black mat and then you can't see the color. And then you end up with stray inks on something you didn't want it to get on there and then you're mad like I was. So you can actually use some embellishments. If you wanted to, you could color in the lemon or color in the leaves. I hadn't thought about that before I start coloring in anything. If you could color in the leaves if you want it. I'm just going to leave it black and white, keep it real simple. And I don't think I got a good border all the way around. Can I get this off before it sets? Yeah. Okay. I didn't get an even border all the way around. And that's going to bother me. So let's try it again. My sister-in-law, she says, you have patience. Everybody says, I don't have patience for this. I don't know how you do this. Well, if you want something done right, you'll find the patience because it's yours. It's your loving hands making this, so you'll do it. Okay. Screw that up a little bit, but I think it'll be right. All right, and then do I have another one that I inked up? I did so many of these. It's just me playing and making sure and getting the spacing right. And make sure I get that one. I did too many. So you could choose to use the deboss on the back side. It's up to you. but I'm going to do the back side last because I need to make sure that I cover up the clasp and the, so I'm going to do that last. Set that aside. Put the top back on there. So now I can turn it over. Put that on there. Let's do that. I don't know what made me decide to do a gift card holder. Maybe it's getting close to Christmas time. This would be really, really nice with any Christmas patterns. Even one that looks like Santa's bag. It'd have to be a pretty, you know, look like Santa's gift bag or something, or, you know, I was telling my husband the other day, I was like, oh, I should have found one that looks like a briefcase for a guy. See if I can do that and then find one in that. Okay, that's good. And then this one. So that went that way, and then that goes that way. See where I had them flipped so they wouldn't go the same way? Oh, that just feels really nice to the hand. And I didn't want to do the ink on the inside to distract from the gift card because I wanted the gift card to be the main feature. So that's why I said, oh, I can deboss. I never deboss. The only sad part about the Cricut, it doesn't emboss. Oh my God, if thing could emboss, that'd be the boss. That would be badass. If it could emboss. That would be the badass. Okay, so before I move on, I'll go ahead and add my, and again, I'm being mindful of that crease. So what I'm going to do, whoops, is I'm going to just do this side. You could choose to use dried adhesive. Yeah, I'm just going to do those sides. I'm not going to do this part because I need it to be able to lift up. And I'm going to grab my, and then I'm going to put it right there. But I don't want to cover up the score line. Make sure. Just want to come close to the score line, but not over it. Because I want this to go in with no issues. I might have to put a little bit right here. Just a little bit. I can't remember if it's 3 sides, 4 sides. I don't remember. Yeah. It's just on the edge. Because what you don't want to do is have the gift card not be able to tuck in. I want it to tuck in like that. That's the idea. Make sure that, I don't think I got enough glue here. So if you don't think you have enough glue, I'm taking a scrap of piece of paper. And then I'm just going to turn it over and I'm just going to feed it through. And then I see a little bit of seepage, so I'm going to wipe that off before it sets. Just to kind of keep it on that. I just run my bone folder across it. Okay. So that's the front. This is the back. So for the back panel, so before I put the back panel on, I'm going to turn this over. And I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm going to put in the handle, and then I'm going to put the clasp on. Then I'll put the back panel on. And then everything will be all finished. So I'm just going to put a little glue here because I'm not sure how far up I want to go with this back panel, because I want to make sure I cover up the works. So I don't want the handle too high, but not too far down. And I'm going to try to get it centered as best I can. Bring it down a little bit closer. So before that glue sets, I want to make sure my panel looks good, or I have everything, the placement looks good. Okay. I do. Lord of mercy. Oh my goodness. Did I lose that sucker again? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. So I'm going to fold that over. Okay. So now, and then I'm going to use an adhesive. That's what it's going to look like. And if you didn't want it that far, I mean, you could, I conceivably could make it shorter, but I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to complain. You didn't have to use this color. I just thought it was a nice contrast, make it look a little rich. And you could have done I could have done this in this color, but I didn't want it to compete. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to add some glue. And then I'm going to make sure I try to center it. And then you know you have to be careful with this foil. And you can actually make it as short as you like. Don't do what I did. There's other ways of doing that. Okay. There we go. Oh, look, I did it backwards. This was backwards. Okay, that should have been up here. But that's okay. I can't believe I did that. I tried to be so careful. I was like, that looks weird. Oh, actually, I'm not good. Okay, well, I'm going to press on. So, actually, but this is, again, this is what happens when you craft. I'm going to show you my fail. I was like not thinking about this, and I was so trying to get everything all lined up, and I did exactly what I didn't want to do. But that's life. So let's put this back panel on. I'm going to leave it just like it is. I assure you, I will be making another one. I will probably be this one. Because I might be able to do another one. And it might not be the lemon one. I'll come up with another thing. I might just do a summer one or a fall one. Maybe I'll do something in the fall theme. I can't believe I did that. Oh my god. If you could see me, I'm probably blushing. Okay. I was thinking about placing this as part of the snap, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. Now that it's all jacked up in the inside, but I will press on. I don't know if I want to do it. And I didn't want this to be too big. I didn't know if I wanted to do it like that, like make it part of the class. Like, but yeah, you know what? I probably would make it part of the class. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So you'll have the, let me show you how to put that down. You'll have the Velcro strip. So I'll just bring that in there in the frame. I don't know why I grabbed such big scissors, but it's the first thing I grab my hand on. So that's the bottom, one of them, and then this will be the top. I just keep them in this nice little thing here so I don't have to worry about. There we go. Okay. Put the top back on that. I can bring it back out. I can't bring it back out. Can't believe I did that. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to bring these two together like that. And then I'm going to take off the back part. Now I have some adhesive on it already, but I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Are these two the same? Okay. Well, let's not do that. Let's make sure I got the right one. Okay, well, I got already one cut. Put that away. Put it back in there. Now, if it's too big, you can always cut this in half. You know, if this is too big for your project, but it's going to work just fine. You can always cut it in half. Okay, so I got the male and the female together. I'm going to keep it together, but I'm also going to put some additional adhesive. And then I am going to slap that down on here. I'm going to hold it in place. I can't believe I did that. Oh my goodness. I did not think about that. I should have looked at this one when I was putting it together. Then I would have caught my boo-boo. Okay, so I'm going to peel off the adhesive, the backer. I'm going to put some more glue on this part. That way it'll, and then I'm going to slap that bad boy down. So while that's setting, I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to do yep, I think I like that. I don't know because now it's gonna be, maybe I can do it like this. Okay, let me stick it right here. Now I could decide that I want to pop this up, but I'm gonna leave it dimension, I'm not gonna add any dimension. And the reason I decided not to put it on a clasp, it's gonna be popped up. So it's going to, it looks weird. And I did all of that just to cover it up, but I still think it still looks good. I could have moved it over here and cut the leaves off, but I'm not. I can't believe it. Well, I'm happy with it. If I had to do it all over again, now that I was thinking about it, I should have ran this through the embossing folder to give it some texture. So I might end up, when I'm going to recut it, obviously, but I might run it through the embossing folder to give this a little bit of texture. You could have run your base through the embossing folder, but I didn't want to do the base because I was gluing this on top. So it's got a little fastener like that. If I was going to do, then I would have had my card here. It doesn't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Just have to turn it over. You know, you can make it work. But I'm going to do another one. But I thought this was a cute little idea. This is what it would look like if you embossed everything. This what made me decide to do the debossing on the machine, because I did the emboss on the outside and the deboss on the inside. And I didn't put just a temporary adhesive here because that was my prototype. But yeah, that's how it turned out. I love it. So I'm happy you stuck to the end. So if you're here to the end, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will talk to you next time. And I will be sure to post my new and improved gift card holder. And I think I'm going to do one for the fall and one for the for Christmas because I have a ton of Christmas ephemera. This is a good idea to use your ephemera on it too. And I did that out of the print and cut. So talk to you guys next time.